Finally, summer vacation had arrived. The squad was hyped beyond belief, ready to chill and kick back. The crew was out there, living it up, celebrating the end of classes. From a distance, the boy with long hair was just watching it all go down. His face was kinda blah. He thought everyone was buzzing about the prep course, not the break from school. Plus, since he had to take the tests next year, the upcoming exams were gonna be brutal. For him, just stepping into this whole scene, everything felt super dull. Out of nowhere, his phone started ringing. It was the delivery dude asking where he was at that moment. Since he wasn't home, the guy couldn't drop off the package it had to be signed for. Wondering what was in the delivery, the boy said he was racing home to grab it. As he got closer to his place, he spotted the delivery guy. When he saw the package, his eyes went wide. There was a drawing of a sick flower on the box. Out of nowhere, he bolted towards the delivery guy. Being a student, the worker asked for his ID, but the boy was so pumped he totally ignored the request and snatched the box right out of his hands. The delivery guy was just standing there, confused. The kid looked just like his son, and seeing the game company logo made him anxious. No, hello even. Once inside, the boy sprinted to open the box. His feet were moving so fast it felt like an earthquake. He slammed the door so hard it echoed. Without a second thought, he grabbed a knife to slice open the long-awaited box. His eyes lit up when he saw what was inside. It was an epic augmented reality headset. Along with it, there were 2 wristbands. Quickly, the boy flipped open a manual. The guide showed him step by step how to rock all the gear and enjoy its features. In a flash, he strapped on the wristbands. The augmented reality headset went on right after. After hitting the button on the right wristband, he noticed something super cool. The gear was scanning his biological signals, and he had to stay still while it did its thing. Finally, after a few moments, the tech glasses powered up. Everything around him looked the same. But then, the glasses thanked Lee Yushin for becoming a VIP online test player. Out of nowhere, a girl popped up, staring at him with a curious look. Seeing her made Lee super nervous and confused. He even stumbled back from the shock. She said if he was surprised just by entering augmented reality, he was in for a wild ride. Then she snapped her fingers and the whole scene changed, making him freak out even more. In seconds, his room transformed into a distant planet. With another snap, they were on a stunning beach. With each new backdrop, Lee Yushin was getting more and more spooked. The girl introduced him to the unforgettable game called Elag Korea. Then she pulled out the invite she forgot to give him. She tossed the paper right to him, but he fumbled it like a total klutz. Once he grabbed it, he opened it without thinking. Suddenly, holograms started popping out. Seeing the city from the hologram, Lee Yushin was totally mesmerized. He even wondered if all of this was real. By the end of the day, he was buzzing, telling his parents he became a test player for a new game through a legit competition. The soup for dinner wasn't even the most exciting topic at the table. A bit confused, Lee Yushin's dad asked if he wanted to be a tennis player or something, and how long this test would last. Without missing a beat, the boy said it would be 15 days and 14 nights, and he'd be paid by the hour. After hearing his son's plans, the man looked bored and negative. The dreamy boy just stared at him, shocked by the response, when he finally decided to break the silence and ask his dad. The man slammed the spoon on the table, cutting him off. This also startled his mom. Suddenly, the man started shouting, saying that the boy's 3 years in military school didn't teach him anything and being a test player was just wild. With each sermon, the boy got even angrier. Out of nowhere, he jumps up from the table, super upset, saying he'd respect his dad's decision. But the man keeps arguing with his son about the food left on the plate. Then his wife gets really mad, telling him to cut it out, since the boy wasn't going anywhere. She puts some morals into that impulsive dude, tugging at his shirt. Looking at her sad son, she shows a thoughtful vibe. The boy couldn't believe he'd have to throw away such a good chance. But for real, he wasn't about to waste this unique opportunity, and he had a plan to dodge his dad's decision. After all this drama, the day of the big test finally arrives. Lee Yushin was already bouncing out of the house, heading to school supposedly. As soon as he shuts the door, he grabs his phone to check a location. Without a second thought, the boy hops on the subway to get there. Yushin lies to the teacher on the phone, saying his family was off on a trip for days. He totally gets lost when asked about the travel destination. Then luck strikes as a huge billboard with the city name pops up in front of him. Without thinking twice, he says his family was going to Quebec, Canada,
which makes the teacher a bit suspicious. Noticing the woman's suspicion, Lee puts on a nervous face. But hey, the billboard said Canada was the best place to live, so that kinda justified the trip. Finally, Lee had solved the boring alibi problem, but he needed to prep for when his parents called the principal's office. Still, the boy decides to leave that for later, because for him, the most important thing right then was something else. And it was in that big building, which took a hot minute to reach. Without thinking twice, he steps inside. The headquarters of Real Online was the new goal of that dreamer boy. That would save Lee Yushin from his super boring routine. After a few minutes inside, a janitor approaches him. The dude even thinks he might be in the wrong place. Then, without a second thought, Yushin shows him his bracelet, the invite to the virtual kingdom. The boy felt important rocking that amulet, and his face totally showed it. Then he heads to the VIP area of the spot. After getting his access granted, he goes deeper into the building and sees screens that blow his mind. There were also a bunch of serious-looking people working on the project. Some players were packing impressive weapons that could wipe out anything. Others looked like real knights straight out of a medieval movie. Li Yuxin thought all of that was epic. Carefully checking out the place, he spots a kind of portal. That thing leaves him super confused as it was something totally new to him. In just a few seconds, the silhouette there really disappears. Li Yuxin wonders what just happened. Suddenly, a giant dude with an angry face shows up. The boy jumps thinking it was a bug. The one-eyed man glares at him in a terrifying way, and out of nowhere charges at the protagonist, smashing the ground and sending him flying. Li Yuxin keeps wondering what that was all about. The man was chasing him for no reason. Li shouts desperately for that strange guy to chill out. He soon tries to hide in a nearby house, but his attempt flops as the man breaks through the wall, entering without any struggle. The guy held an axe that would scare anyone. Li had no clue what to do to stalk his pursuer. He tried to disconnect from the game while the man got ready to finish him off. Then suddenly, the girl presenter of the game appears, trying to stop the pursuer. At that moment, the boy was in a rough spot, already giving up on life, but thankfully the girl manages to stop the pursuer with her quick moves. She explains that the enemy might seem overpowered, but he's actually a low-level opponent. Without thinking twice, the girl goes for the man. He doesn't even react when she attacks him. The girl's hand moves towards the man delicately and joins a series of moves that look magical, until finally hitting the enemy's body with major power, making him evaporate in a flash. Upon seeing this, Li Yuxin shows his shocked face. Then he strikes up a combo with the saving operator. She had a delicate vibe, but something still felt off, so the boy tries to figure out why the girl's voice sounds so weird. The girl hesitates a bit to spill the truth, leaving him on edge, but after a few seconds, she transforms into a dude, explaining why his voice is deep. The man then apologizes for that. He was teasing the kid because of his hilarious reactions and wouldn't stop joking around. Li Yuxin, hearing this, felt super embarrassed and ready to dig a hole to hide in. But there was still one thing that made it all worth it. As expected, everything was a blast. Li Hyunbyu, the big boss of the test, finally introduces himself to Li Yuxin. Since the kid was also late, he quickly apologizes to the dude, worried he might get kicked out of the test for being tardy, but the guy just brushes it off. Moving on to the next demo, the actual reaction made the kid breathe a huge sigh of relief. With the clock ticking, they kick things off with a tour of the office before proper intro.